The Roundheads of the Parliamentarian army are here today in today's Pike and Shot Total War battle. And we have an English Civil War smackdown as we return to the world of Pike and Shot. The Pike and Shot mod for Total War Shogun 2. And it is a glorious, glorious mod that really is just like very much fleshed out already and just is yeah, a brilliant, brilliant mod. All it needs now is maybe a few more factions and a campaign. My gosh, have you got yourself pretty much an outright total war for this Black Powder period. As we have John Hilton's Regiment of Skirmishes already shooting away there and routing. It looks like some of John Lambert's Arquebusiers as he holds on to this entrenched position here, which he's got going on, which I really like. It's very, very nice. We've got the King's Lifeguard of Horse Cuirassiers coming up behind as well. We've got Prince Rupert's Cuirassiers as well. Got a whole bunch of heavy cap there actually shifting forward to help out. But yes, there's an English Civil War 2v2 here as we have an outnumbered Royalist army taking on the Parliamentarians here today. The Royalists with their royal sort of colours over here in the Kingdom of England. Then we have the Parliament of England with the typical St. George Cross as their banner. And we do have Oliver Cromwell here as well, who, if you know English Civil War, you know who this man is. He is the main protagonist in the, well, he's the leader of Parliament, basically, and he goes on to become Lord Protector in the English Civil War once the Parliamentarians won and Charles I had his head lopped off. Charles is not here today in today's battle, but we do have, I believe we do have William Cavendish, first Duke of Newcastle, and then we have over here, we have Ralph Hopton, first Baron Hopton. So we have two members of nobility representing, yes, the Royalist armies. And we also have Thomas Fairfax, another famous general as well in the Parliamentarian army, actually quite famous for the area where I live, York. Where he was involved in the siege of York, and I think he was, well, as commander as well of the Parliamentarian forces in and around York as well in the siege of York. But yeah, it does look like I thought this was going to ignite the battle, like this sort of like skirmish over here, while we started the video. But it seems like that is not the case. Seems like they are going to just sort of sit back, relax. Pike and Shot battles do take a long time to get going, that's for sure, as these Pike formations are pretty unwieldy and slow. But yes, if you are glad to see Pike and Shot is back, do give this video a like, subscribe if you're around here, and feel free in the comments to let me know who you're rooting for. Are you team Royalist? Are you for King and Country? Or do you want to bring down the Tyrant King? And are you backing Cromwell and his Parliamentarians? So yeah, do let me know who you're rooting for. And yeah, if you want to see or get involved in Pike and Shot, I should say, if you are a fan of this mod, then you can get it on ModDB, easy. And there's also a Discord as well. I'll leave a link for it in the description down below. This is using version 0.992 or something like that. It was not even quite, we're not quite at version 1 yet, but we're very, very close. But yeah, this is like the most up-to-date version, I believe, and I think I've installed it right. Me and Pike and Shot have a bit of a history of having crashes and bugged out games, but I think we've installed it right here today. Fingers crossed, as this battery of 3-pounders gets blasting away at those Parliamentarians.
Close and fire! Close and fire!
Yes, it seems as though the Parliamentarians are going to swing entirely away from this huge force of Royalists over here, and they're going to go for this smaller force over here, which is probably the, I mean, it's probably the right idea. I mean, this is all cavalry, though. They're going to come straight up against this, whether they don't realize that, but yeah. I mean, this looks like it's going to be a bit of a blocking force here, but a lot of the Royalists look like they're going to get ignored here. This Parliamentarian force is all cavalry out here. We've got Cromwell's Ironsides as well, which are the famous sort of like Parliamentarian cavalry. The Ironsides. I think that's what most of them are known as, like most of his cavalry. To be honest, they have that. Yeah, that's what they're known as. But there's, maybe there are certain regiments that are known as the Ironsides. Got some Scottish mercenary lancers. The Scots were pro-Parliamentarian. But I think they changed sides. So I think they were both on the Royalist and on the Parliamentarian side at different points, just depending on what favoured them. But yeah, they have them here. What else do we have? We have some more Arquebusiers, which are like skirmish cavalry. They have muskets in their hand, usually. Or carbines, I should say, not muskets. But yeah, loads of those here available. The cav, I mean, these units are vast as well, so units are going to return lots of times. And it's a bit like NTW3 and DEI is Pike and Shot. Like, morale is what's king, and that's what you need to do. You don't need to kill the unit off, you just need to basically break it. So do lots of outflanking, lots of side volleys, things like that. That's how you're going to win games of Pike and Shot Total War. And they are coming forward. They are firing from a long way away. There's Irish Royalist militia there. I don't think we've seen them yet in action. There might be some new units that I've not seen yet before because there has obviously been one or two updates since I've last checked in on this mod. But yeah, the Irish Musketeers, I don't think I've ever seen these guys in their green as well, representing.
Enemy at close range, sir. Await my command.
Yeah, these boys are firing away. They seem to have insane range. They seem to have better range than the Westminster Regiment of Musketeers over here. We've got the Pikes as well getting ready. They are now firing from a fair distance as well over here. The Thomas Ballard's Musketeers. Duke of Newcastle's moving forward his Musketeers over here. I don't think this is the army with the Duke of Newcastle in, but his boys all in white. It's kind of appropriate, I feel like, for those of you that maybe are football fans and know, like, Newcastle, which is my team, actually, as well. They're in black and white, so it's kind of appropriate, you know, at least, you know, the Duke of Newcastle's troops are in white. I like that. I'm sure they've been historically accurate, but it also is quite funny as well that they are in that colour scheme. Yeah, 3-pounders here. I don't know if they need to really move forward. They don't want to be close, because at close range, Musketeers can just wipe out cannon crews. It's actually one of the vulnerabilities of cannons in Pike and Shot, is that, yeah, they are actually quite easy to take out. And these guys are firing. Harquebusiers are firing from quite a range. These cuirassiers, I guess, can't fire back. No, they can't, actually. They do have firearms. They have, like, a little pistol with them. But, yeah, they need to get really up close. They probably could take this fight, you know. I mean, they've got Fairfax supporting here, so the morale boost will help. If they go, yeah, Cavendish is close by Duke of Newcastle. He could charge in there. They could try and give this a go, but they've got no infantry to really back them up. All their infantry is over here. And I thought, looking at it to start with, maybe I was wrong in saying that the Royalists are outnumbered, but I think they are. I just feel like everywhere they go, looks like the Parliamentarians are kind of looking pretty stacked right now. The center is where they need to give it a go, like right through here. This is a good long line here of Royalists. The Parliamentarians are nicely back, like got themselves in double lines here, but definitely this is where the Royalists can just kind of like smash in hard. They can also get in the cavalry to support the other two on their left. Only problem is that cavalry is also, by being there, is also kind of forcing back Cromwell's army. Cromwell has an entire army back here being very passive right now. This player needs to really look to where he can really support. To be honest, he obviously isn't really going to push against the cav because they'll just run away. It's not really being effective. I would maybe be moving infantry along this line here, trying to slam into the flanks of these Henry Bard's Pikes and his Lord Hopton's regiment of Musketeers. Like, I'd hit these guys in the side, make something happen there, and then you can swing around the Royalists sort of like left of center here, and then just follow on down the line. But yeah, these volleys are doing some nasty work here. These units are really small as well, actually. Like 96, 120. Like, the European armies are vastly bigger with their like musketeer and pikeman units. But maybe that's just, yeah, maybe that's just it's an English thing. They have like smaller units, smaller manpower pool to rely upon. Not like the HRE, which is an international sort of nation, and Spain as well, which is an international one, which can call upon, yeah, like troops from all over the world. Yeah, these Westminster Regiment of Musketeers here, they are suffering. I wondered whether we're going to see a cav charge here soon. Ironsides are all mustering up here. These are cuirassiers for the Parliamentarians. We've got Hasselrigg's Lobsters as well, which is a funny name. I do love the Lobsters as a name. Imagine just being like, oh yes, so what regiment do you belong to? I belong to the Lobster Regiment, sir. And they've got some of those militia breaking there. I'm not surprised they broke first. I'm kind of surprised that these Westminster Regiment have not broken. But we're going to see a charge here. We're going to see the Queen's horse cuirassiers going in, maybe? No, the Queen's cuirassiers are going to turn around. It looked like they were going to go for it, change their minds. I think that's because they got the Pikes ready to set up into that corner, which is wise. And now we're going to see Pikes advance here. Henry Bard sending forward his pike regiment. He's going to get right up close to these musketeers and he's going to start poking them. And in these guys go, and they're going to start poking away. And yeah, there you go. The infantry actually breaks. Wow, look at that. And that causes the other unit there to break. And now they could start to advance the line if they wanted to. These units redlining all around them. And yeah, Parliamentarians are starting to break quite heavily. I'm going to see, yeah, a couple of volleys here from the Irish militia should probably break these pikes as they advance straight towards them. No, not the time to reload, fellas. And they're actually going to drop their pikes and going to chase these musketeers. It's a strategy I've seen quite a lot recently, and it is effective, as you can see there. Musketeers hate going into melee, and that actually nearly did break them. That was nearly a lucky move there. These are actually the pikemen shattered themselves. Wow. I'm kind of surprised by that. What happened there? They're getting a volley off just to make sure they do stay broken as well. Pike's going to keep moving forward here. Henry Bard, he doesn't give a damn. He's going to keep poking these musketeers as he comes forward. And again, he's not quite broken these troops, but they are wavering. He's also looking like he could waver and break pretty soon. That's the only problem. Now we're about to see a cav charge here. A lot of cav moving forward. Arquebusiers. No, they're just moving up. Just moving up, getting a little closer. Okay. Henry Bard pushing forward. And here goes the Queen's Cuirassiers. They're going in. And these are Prince Rupert's actually as well. So we've got a bit of a mix. And we've got John Hampton's regiment of musketeers here. Also in green. Just to confuse with the Irish. They are going to try and break their way through. They might just do it, you know. There's a lot of heavy cav here that's trying to go through this gap. Lots of cuirassiers. King's Lifeguard cuirassiers also going in. Here goes the Queen's regiment of cuirassiers going in. Don't know how they really differ. They probably differ slightly in stats. But that cav charge pretty effective. You could do with backing this up with infantry here. Over on the far flank as well. Another huge cav fight taking place. Oh my gosh, we missed most of this. But the Royalists have won this decisively with Ralph Hopton leading the way, destroying all these arquebusiers here. I think this is all pretty much light, like skirmish cav. Not a single cuirassier around here. Load of the Ironsides did get shifted to the center to support that other fight there. Royalist cav, I feel like, is much better than Parliamentarian cav. And that is kind of the case because the Royalists, obviously, most of their sort of troops they can call upon naturally ride horses, and also just experience fighting in other wars. The Royalist army actually at the beginning of the war was the better army rather than the Parliamentarians. Won a lot of battles because their troops were really experienced in fighting in places like the Netherlands and Germany as mercenaries or as like condottieri. So they were actually really experienced. The Parliamentarian army is just full of like conscripts and new recruits. But yeah, these arquebusiers here, they might rout these musketeers here on the side. If the Parliamentarians could just back this up with infantry, they could just swing down the line, to be honest. Looks like the cav mostly got out of here. Well, actually, no, it's mostly got out of here because it's routed. And I'm going to see this. Queen's Regiment also fall back. This might get routed as well as it tries to retreat. But they've done a very good job, put a lot of damage into this part of the Parliamentarian line right here. They're still holding over here. The boys in blue holding on. Let's go and see what's happening on that far flank. Yeah, look at that. The arquebusiers shattered. They are re-rallying. I don't know whether the players realize. A lot of them are active as well, or winded. They can definitely get back into the fight soon. Like, energy comes into it massively, obviously, with morale. You don't want to send exhausted troops into battle. His calves are pretty active or winded as well. So I could definitely go in. Infantry here trying to back it up. And look at this is well over here. Look at that. Duke of Newcastle Pikes. They're wavering, but they're helping to shatter a lot of these volunteer musketeers here. And volunteer... these are more volunteer musketeers from Aberdeen. So they're falling back in the face of the pikes. And they're also advancing here. I mean, there's a lot of the musketeers that are wavering, just getting that close to the enemy. Are they going to go to melee? They might do it. No, they're going to break. That's all they're going to do. And it's going to cause a bit of a mass rout. Oh, geez. Yeah, a lot of these volleys coming in. That is not good. Lord Hopton's pikes in need to rally. What is going on? Player, whoever this is for the Royalists, is kind of throwing. He needs to give some attack orders. And this huge cav corps here cannot stay just like, yeah, looking like that. And another huge cav fight taking place on the other side. Now, this is majorly important. If they lose this one here, the Royalists, that might be game, but they are not losing. Look at that on the far flank over there. So many wins there. Cuirassiers just absolutely dominating the Ironsides here in the arquebusiers. All it takes is a couple of wins, and then the enemy starts to master out. They just need to farm this cavalry down, just to make sure it does not return. Cromwell here. Oh no, this is Fairfax, sorry. Fairfax is looking pretty vulnerable. Cromwell has moved to the center, so he's pretty safe. General bodyguards are pretty solid, though, in melee. We've got some of the cuirassiers here. They're breaking through. The tune's going off. And again, it looks like we've got more cuirassiers there. Charles Durard's cuirassiers beating the arquebusiers. Got a couple of cuirassiers for the Royalists that are wavering, but not really anything too serious. And this could be a serious problem here for the Parliamentarians. They need to somehow try and recover from this. Got infantry right here. I don't know if this player realizes his pikes are just kind of like just stood here back to back doing nothing. Not really sure. Like I said, there's so many units on the battlefield. I'm sure like micro's being tested to the limit. This cav fight is vast. Look at all this cavalry here in the background, just like passively taking part in other battles as well. And look at that, the Royalists are really pushing on. They are not letting the Parliamentarian cavalry get away. I like that. I'm all for that. Hopefully they don't overextend and tire themselves out, because most of this cavalry is pretty like still active or winded for the Parliamentarians. So it's not like that bad. Once again, they are victorious, and they've defeated the Parliamentarians once again. And those skirmishes are holding up a lot of forces over there. I just realized, actually, look at that. They're routing a lot of these guys as well as Aberdeen Militia there. A lot of the cav, it looks like it is re-rallying as well, even further back. Cromwell needs to, rally the troops. He needs to give some stirring speech. Fairfax is in the front line now. He's trying to hold stuff back, and there is a bit of a comeback going on here. Ironsides have won this flank here. Can they wrap around the Royalists? The Royalists are trying to do the same on the other side. Those cavalry that were victorious here, yeah, they are returning. Good. I was going to say, they need to get into the backs of the Parliamentarians here, and then they can just smash into the back of those and win the day on this far flank. This is still a very important flank here going on. I know we're not really looking elsewhere, but this campfire, I feel like, can make the difference.
Regroup, man!
And there you go. Those Parliamentarians are breaking. The rear charge here from those returning Royalists is breaking a lot of these units. Is Fairfax gone? Fairfax is wavering. The center is still kind of like touch and go over here. Pikes are stabbing away. They're trying to rout some of these Southwark pikemen there. Looks like the left has sort of reorganized itself and got itself into some sort of position. They look like they are preparing to be encircled though. And Fairfax has gone. He is fully routed. He's somewhere in there, but his unit is gone. And Cavendish is in the front lines as well. He needs to be careful. But with Fairfax gone, that can do so much damage. General losses in Pike and Shot, I cannot under-exaggerate how bad that is. It is really, really bad. Morale will start to shatter for these units here. I mean, we've got some units that are breaking and they're not moving. That's a bit of a bug with the tiller. But these guys here, they're standing. They're supposedly standing, quote-unquote, but they are not. They are broken. They are gone. And it's now like, with that Pike in there winning that fight against the Southwark Pike Regiment, there's a bit of a split in the Parliamentarians. here, that's for sure. And really, those Duke of Newcastle Pike should now work their way down the line and help just mop up the Parliamentarians here and do a lot of serious damage. The Cav on the other side as well, the left flank here, having now decisively defeated the Parliamentarian Cav, not once, but probably twice in the case of some of it. They can hit the backs of the Parliamentarians here. Cromwell is also very open. I don't know whether he'll get out of here alive. Probably. Most of this Cav is pretty tired. If they surround him, there's no way he can get out of there. Yeah, this Alexander Pop and Cuirassier wants to get back. So many of these units here need to try and re-rally where possible. Cav, though, just looks like it's a limiting factor now for the Parliamentarian army. As skirmishes there get routed by Cuirassiers. They just get between these gaps. Oh, this is not looking good. Look at all these wavering units of militia musketeers just getting broken by skirmishes. Picking off officers, I bet, and probably picking off like the flag bearer and maybe like the piper and the trumpeter. Things like that, you know, help with morale, picking them off. I mean, they should just slam into the flanks here. I don't know why they're not pushing forward. Just get right in their faces, get these pikes up there. They can just hit the infantry inside. Again, micro probably comes into it a little bit. And maybe nerves a little bit, but look at that. That's just broken. Fully broken. The cuirassiers finally hit the side of that Parliamentarian force, and they've shattered. They're gone. And it's looking very increasingly like it's going to be a Royalist victory here today. There's one last stand going on from the Parliamentarians, but armies can master out pretty quickly, so this could be over any moment now. I really kind of thought that the Parliamentarians with numbers would make the difference. The Royalists do have a quality army. They've barely taken a scratch, it feels like. Some of their units are routed, yeah, but the Cav, for instance, is still pretty much intact. Attack indeed. For king and country, men. For king and country. Watch this boy in green here just shoot away. There you go, yeah, wavering again. These units they're just waiting for the cavalry wing on the left or the right flank just to slam on in. It just one of them needs to slam on in now and just, you know, take this Parliamentarian army off life support and put it to bed. Really, generally, that needs to happen. Some of this cav here is rallied. I don't know what the player's doing, whether he's just not aware that it's here. No, here he goes. I think he's going to give it an order. It's firing. I think that's his best decision, to be honest, is probably to try and rout the units ahead of him with a good old volley. And they nearly did that, but they are going to get side charged by all these cuirassiers. And I say charged, it was more of a walk. They kind of walked into them. But there you go. Engage, boys. And I say they were roundheads. They kind of also look like they could be as well.
Break off!
And they routed that one. They didn't get the other one. The other one has managed to withdraw a little bit, but it needs to get back. It needs to just keep retreating. And oh, jeez. What happened to this pike unit here? It went into action, and it's got absolutely blasted there. And poked to death by the Duke of Newcastle's pikes as well. Well, the cav got sent into battle by the looks of it. Alexander Poppin's cuirassiers, they're going to break once again. Some more of the cav over here has returned, some harquebusiers and cuirassiers. One of the lobsters is back, which is good to see. The battle's not over if the lobsters are still in the field. Cromwell's bodyguard's taking a battering as well, down to 25 out of 40. And yeah, here we go. The Royalists setting in the infantry. What just needs to happen? Set in the pikes. Poke these boys up. Firing whilst in melee, really. It's a bit cheeky, but I feel like it's valid to do. Oh, look at that guy in green. He's like, mercy! Mercy, pikeman! And he's going to get stabbed up by them. Look at that. That's a mass rout now on the front line. That's more like 7, 8 units break in there. That's just, yeah, you can't come back for that. You cannot come back. Duke of Newcastle's stacking up pikes here that much. Insane. There you go. They don't even get into combat and they're breaking these pike units, or these musketeer units. The Cavs still looking for an opportunity to go in, but they just need to just rip the band-aid off and go in. There you go, these guys are like, yeah, just all slowly breaking the cav over here. Prince Rupert's cuirasses just charged the side of these pikes. That probably will break them. Oh, they did actually break the horse cuirasses over here. Probably because they were just that tired. They probably just broke out of sheer exhaustion, to be honest, rather than anything else.
At the double! Engage the enemy! Orders understood. Come back! Yes, sir!
But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this battle. It's certainly been a close one. I thought it was going to be, I thought it was going to be a close one. It doesn't seem like it's been a close one at all. But I don't get loads of Pike and Shot replays sent in. I thought I'd check this one out. English Civil War is always fun, and it's close to my heart. Sort of like, you know, being my country and our struggles. These pikes here have been brave. They're advancing. They are wavering as they go in, but they are advancing towards all this cavalry here. Good anti-cav unit is the pike.
My orders.
They can form square if they want to, but the Cav's going to go in. These are fresh, confident. They're going to charge head on. Very confident to charge head on into pikes. Look at that. They're going to take unnecessary losses charging in there. My gosh, they might break these guys though anyway. Yeah, one broken, and that should start a bit of a chain rout, you'd imagine. Look at that, just swamping the cav here. I would advise, don't do this usually, but the battle is won. These men's lives can be tossed away. And now they're breaking the cav. They broke some of the cav here. Actually, well, look at that. They can't underestimate the pikes just yet. And more of the cav is just going into the back of the remains of the Parliamentarian army. I mean, just turn the troops around at this point. Like, I don't know why they're looking in this direction. There is obviously cavalry ahead of them there, but they should really be worried about what's coming in behind them. That's more concerning. And the pikes over here, yeah, getting shot by skirmishes. And these cuirasses here could just side shoot or just rear charge all of those units and hit. Yeah, this is turning into a rout. Parliamentarians being well and truly beaten here, and the king is going to hold onto his crown, and England will still be a monarchy. There you go, yeah, straight through the center. Cromwell here is desperately trying to survive. And actually, look at that. The lobster's helping to rout some of these guys. Okay, maybe not. Lambert's breaking here. And I think we're going to see a mass rout. I think potentially here, at least. A lot of the parliamentarians again are breaking. And I'd just like to say, these skirmishers have held on to their little redoubt very nicely. There's actually a cav unit over here as well, a arquebusier that's just been, has gone missing. But good on these skirmishers holding on to their little redoubt. I'm very impressed. We started the battle there, and we look like the battle might end there as well with that cav unit. I think this is a sort of a squares attempt to be formed by the Parliamentarian pikemen.
Into the breach, with God's help! Orders understood.
Look at all that massive cav there. So much of it left.
Victories, huh?
And there you go, glorious victory is soon to be yours, as yeah, everything for the Parliamentarians routes. And we'll have a quick look at the end results in a moment, I think, when these Parliamentarians are finally all gone. And there you go, that is a GG. And I'll end the battle, and I'll see you guys in a moment with the end results. So here we are with the end results. I believe this was sent in by Itchy, so I think it's from his perspective, I think, that we saw this battle. But yeah, him and Zion winning the game as the Royalists, so well done to the two of them. Yeah, they were vastly outnumbered. They had like, what, 8.8k troops? And yeah, they were up against sort of like well over 10k. So yeah, that's kind of insane. Yeah, like more like 11k troops there. So that is, yeah, insane actually that they've won that battle. But yeah, well done to Guard and Goodfellow as well. Did the best they could, but those cav fights they lost on both flanks were just decisive. And after that, it was kind of curtains. I mean, they've got actually so few kills. The army is pretty much intact for the Royalists. What a victory, that's for sure. Yeah, cavalry just is king in Pike and Shot. It really is. We'll have a quick look at some of the unit stats for the Royalists and for the Cuirassiers. As we have John Culpeper here for Zion getting the most kills. His Cuirassiers there getting 169 kills. The Lifeguard getting 164. 128 kills to some Prince of Rupert's Cuirassiers there. Even William Cavendish getting 74 kills. But there are the rest of his kills if you want to have a look at those. And we have Guard here playing as one of the Parliamentarian armies. Yeah, not a lot of kills. We'll just scroll through these. 51 with the Westminster Regiment getting the most kills there, but yeah, not a lot of kills. This has got to be one of the lowest kill rates I've ever seen in a Pike and Shot game, I would say. But yeah, then we have Itchy left up playing as the other Royalist army. 151 kills with this Charles Gerard Cuirassier. They only lost one man. It's insane. Don't know if it farmed a lot, but I think most of the Cuirassiers all saw action, to be honest. But yeah, it's mostly all this cav getting triple figure kills. And then we'll just scroll through the rest of these. You can have a look at those if you wanted to. And Goodfellow Boris, 79 kills with his musketeers there, getting the most kills. But yeah, nothing much. Again, getting huge amounts of results. Sadly for the Parliamentarians here today. A very decisive Royalist victory. But it is nice to be back in Pike and Shot, checking out this mod once again. Like I said, if you want to check it out and you haven't already, then do check out the links in the description of the video. Thank you for watching, and if you want to see more Pike and Shot battles, maybe a few close ones, do check out the videos appearing on your screen now. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.